All right, so just went back to the lobby and set up another game here. And hopefully it shouldn't take too long for us to get 3 more players to join us. At the moment there are 2,600 players online on colonist.io. So yeah, more and more people have been coming online as I've been streaming here. We've been live for about 4 hours and 20 minutes. Now I'm just thinking out loud. One of the things that I'm going to add to the stream here is kind of a little scorecard or scoreboard or something like that. So basically, I've won 2 out of the 6 games that I've played so far this stream, and just so I'll be able to remember it better, we're just going to kind of log it as we play in future streams. I think that'll be a nice little sort of addition to the layout. So I'll think about where to drop that text in, and then have that added to the design for future streams. But yeah, for those that are new to the channel, my name is Ziggy, TryNiceGames. Just basically playing and sharing the love of board games here with people on Twitch, and then I upload some of this content to YouTube as well. Yeah, we're ready to go. So yeah, you might be watching this game on YouTube in the future. And if you are and you want to catch us on Twitch playing live, join us on twitch.tv and look for TryNiceGames. And I should be streaming pretty regularly moving forward now that I've sorted out all of the technical issues that I was having when I first tried and started out. So I live in Australia, where the broadband connection system is not appropriate for a first world country. Let's just put it that way. But it is what it is. First world problems. But yeah, I sort of figured a few things out, and now we're good to go. So please join us, and thanks for watching. We are going to be the 3rd player to pick a settlement on this board. So let's see what blue takes. And yeah, so he goes for the 5-8-10, which makes a lot of sense. It's one of the best producing spots on the board. The best producing spot on the board and the best combo you can get, by the way, is a 5-6-9. So the 6s and 8s are never going to be next to each other on a standard board. And then sometimes, depending on where the desert goes and sort of how things get mixed up, the 5-6-9 is a potential. But this 5-6-9 isn't that great, because we're just going to end up having way too much wool, and I'm not really interested in having that wool. So the 4-5-8 seems very reasonable. I'm just trying to, kind of scan the board to see if there's anything else that jumps out at me as a decent option. But if we go for the 4-5-8, the problem that we're probably going to end up having is that the sort of the combos that are going to be left for the ore and lumber, which are just here, are not going to be that great. But if I build down this direction, I guess maybe the lumber becomes more important, and I can try to... Yeah, let's go with this. I mean, we'll see how we go. I'll run with this idea. It's a pretty good producing spot. It sort of locks up some of the spots around the center as well. So it'll be interesting to see where the red player goes and what he leaves for us. But I mean, if we can get the 9, 10, 11, I'm definitely jumping on that. And if we can't get the 9, 10, 11, maybe something like the 3, 8, 4 is a good spot to consider. So I'm willing to start the game without the ore, with the idea that I'm going to have a pretty decent road building and settlement kind of placing set up, and then, get onto the 3, maybe double up on the 3. That could work. So the red player is going to try to compete with us over to that side. Interesting. So he's going to have a road in hand, and he's going in that direction. So he locks up the 10 as well. So going across from where blue went means that you can't settle on the 10 anymore. But yeah, I mean, I think the obvious path for us in that instance is definitely going to be this initial idea that I had going over here. And the argument that I'm making is that I'm just going to be faster than red to be able to build a road and a settlement down in that direction. But we'll see how we go. Largest herd card with that combo. Yeah, the shepherd. So that's, with my cousins, I was talking about playing with my cousins. Yeah, every once in a while we'll sort of make a joke about, you know, if you play a lot of sheep with a port, you're the shepherd, and if you play a lot of grain or wheat, whatever you want to call it, you know, you're the baker, and, you know, we used to kind of trash talk each other a little bit with the game. But, yeah, I mean, the 5, 9, 10 and going for sheep port, you know, isn't the worst concept in the history of the world. I mean, specifically since the sheep or wool port is sitting on the 5 here as well. But again, I think, you know, in my experience, and I've played, I mean, at this point I've played hundreds of games, and I don't claim to be an expert, but just in my experience, those port strategies typically don't go super well. Typically. I mean, I've seen wins with that. I've won with a, you know, more of a port strategy in the past as well, but yeah, so obviously the critical thing for us in this game is going to be to try to get onto that 8-3 and beat red to the punch here. And if we can do that, that's great. We should, like I said, be faster than him in terms of resource production development that would get us to a kind of road settlement scenario. I mean, the only thing that can kind of hinder our progress potentially here is the fact that, you know, robbers might start coming out and we get targeted, or, you know, we're sort of short that one resource. Somehow he gets the 11s before we get a 4 and a 3 or whatever, but there's an argument to be made, by the way, that if we get the clay, we just kind of build that one road here and just kind of, you know, call it a day, just like not even give him the option. But we'll just have to wait and see what cards we get. But yeah, strategically speaking, you know, we're sort of burning resources to build a road, but we're guaranteeing ourselves that 8-3 spot, which is, yeah. Port strategy works better with non-wool resources. That way if people need them, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're definitely right. You know, in the Seafarers game, the wool, yeah, so he's built that road there. Ooh, he does the 2 roads, but we can build the settlement before he, so we can still build a settlement here. And the irony, of course, is that if you have a road past the settlement, he can actually still extend that road, which is kind of funny. But yeah, he's burnt the resources, and now we're hoping to get some wool. We're gonna go aggressively for wool if we can. Trade for it, why not? But I mean, obviously, if we roll, we roll. But yeah, we're definitely very close to it now. Clay for lumber, clay for wheat. No, we're not gonna give the clay. Not even for ore. The one slightly annoying thing about that is that we're not going to be able to develop further. So we're going to have to get that settlement hopefully, and then get the port over here and just have the one settlement on the 3 ore, and just have to work with that. I'll give him wheat for wool if that exists. Yeah, so I guess he just doesn't have the wool. But yeah, the reason why I'm not trading the wheat for the ore is because we might get another wheat, and then we just go 4 for 1 and get it. So okay, we just get the 5, which is the ideal scenario for us. Yeah, so I don't know if people watching are familiar with this rule, but once you have a road, even though a settlement has sort of broken the connection in theory, so from a road building perspective, like if he kept building a road here, these two wouldn't count on the extension. Or if he builds that way, that one doesn't count. But you can continue building the road out from your road. So that's just something that some people I've noticed have been surprised by when somebody does that. So yeah, wow, that's a lot of wheat. That is a lot of wheat that we have in our hand at the moment. So we're definitely going to burn 4 for 1 for clay just to get rid of some cards. Assuming a 7 doesn't roll. If a 7 rolls, we're just gonna we're gonna throw some cards away. But yeah, all things being equal, we're gonna burn some grain to build the road out that way. But yeah, the wool typically is not the most popular card in the classic game. When you're playing the Seafarers game, though, because of the sort of knight scenario and how it works in that expansion, the wool becomes much more valuable, and then with the cloth and the coins and all of that stuff, it sort of gives you sort of another reason to go after the wool. If this were a closed road segment, could he still have put that settlement? I'm not sure what you mean, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that he can build a road here and settle, let's say, on the 3 and the 3-1 port, if that makes sense. Yeah, so you see he was able to build the road, and now he's able to settle on the 3, in theory. So he still needs the space of 2 roads between settlements, but yeah, he can settle on that 3. I guess maybe what you're asking is if I built that extra road, yeah, he could do the same thing that I kind of did to him. So he can break my road connection with a settlement in between, as long as you still have that sort of two road kind of buffer between settlements. So if that makes sense. So he was able to settle here, but the fact that I put the settlement here before him means that now he can continue expanding that way. But yeah, we're sort of blockaded from doing anything else down on this side of the board. And there's no reason for us to build up here. So we're only going to try to expand up here at this stage. Yeah, going after the ore port doesn't make sense. I mean, obviously building this settlement is kind of the main priority. The question is, what do we do after we're done with that? And I'm not sure I have a good answer. So, yeah, not sure I have a good answer. Yeah, see you around, Wilson. Hope you join us again on a stream, and yeah, get in touch. I think you said through Twitter, so get in touch through Twitter, and we'll try to set up a game at some point in the future. Oh, what did I do? Oh, wheat for, try to set up a trade here. But yeah, have a nice day, and see you around, hopefully. Yeah, clay doesn't help us. I will do this for the wool. Can't do the clay. Yep, so orange goes for it. That gets us to settle here on the 3-1. So that's fantastic. We did get our sort of first settlements, and now we have the 3-1 port, so we can kind of burn some cards to be able to maybe get a city up a bit quicker. But yeah, getting a 3 at some point, getting some ore that way would be much nicer than just burning through cards. Looking at our options as far as where we can expand to, there were some areas, up on that top side of the board that might be interesting. So yeah, blue is trying to go for this 5, 9, 10, and then potentially that wool port. And if he's able to do that, that's really a strong setup at that stage. However, in saying that, his clay production is a bit problematic, so it's going to take him a while to be able to get to that setup. Yeah, so just thinking out loud here, what I was talking about with getting some kind of scoreboard going, I might kind of place something here in future streams where I'm sort of showing, you know, how many games we've played and what our kind of win rate has been. I think that's kind of a cool little addition, just thinking out loud. But yeah. Yeah, I guess we have to go after blue. We're just going to hit the 10 ore here. And just, I guess we're going to have to rob the red player. Yeah, so we rob red automatically. This is interesting. I think the safest road build, as far as, you know, making sure we're not wasting resources here, is going to be to go up. And then if we can double up on the 8, that's not bad. And then the worst case scenario is that we triple up on the 4 wheat, and then we're going to be producing tons and tons of wheat with the 4 and the 8. But we have at least we have the 3-1 port to be able to utilize that production in some other fashion. So that's not too bad. But yeah, if anybody here is joining us watching live, you know, drop a line in the chat, say hello, let us know who you are, where you're from. If you aren't familiar with the game Settlers of Catan, totally happy to explain the rules, or you know, if you're kind of new to the game and want to talk through some ideas and strategies, totally happy to do that. I try to do that anyway, obviously, just talking through my thought process here as I play, but with that in mind, wow, so yeah, I think, like I was saying with this, we could build a city, which is something to consider here, actually. And if we were to build a city, so we can do either or. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we can do that to get the lumber and the wool, and then build like a road and settle. Or we do that to get 2 ore, and be able to drop a city and really increase our production somewhere here. So with all of that in mind, I think the city idea kind of makes more sense to me at this stage. And I think we're going to go here. I mean, that's our highest producing spot. And again, utilizing the 3-1 port is going to be pretty cool. So with all of that in mind, again, I didn't place a road down because I want to be very precise here with the way that I spend my resources. I don't want to be wasteful. So, you know, if I build a road here and then somehow blue, you know, kind of robs us and other people rob us and beat us to the punch here, it would be just a shame to have that random road that, you know, kind of led to nowhere, if that makes sense. But all things being equal, you know, we're the first player to 5 points, and we've really increased our production significantly from sort of the first two settlements that we had, right? We were able to settle here, 3-1 port, upgrade the 4-5-8 to a city. So I'm pretty happy with where we're at right now. We're definitely in the mix for this game. Yeah, so we're obviously reaping the rewards immediately off of that. And if something like an 8 rolls right now, we're really, really kind of living large. Yeah, the 8 would be like the key, the key to all of our, yeah, so blue finally gets on, wow, we do get the 8. I mean, that's pretty amazing, like, not gonna lie, we are now in a commanding spot. So we have 4 settlements, meaning theoretically we're able to build 1 more settlement. I think taking a development card now makes a lot of sense. Just on the basis that 7s are going to target us. A victory point isn't bad, actually, like getting that extra point right now. So we're 3 points away, meaning maybe the road build is one of the concepts that we could pursue here. So red robs us, which is sort of what I was thinking. Yeah, everybody's going to rob us, I would imagine. So that is one of the downsides to kind of taking the early lead. But with that said, because of that 3-1 port and because our production is, as strong as it is at this stage, my sense of the situation is that we're not really blockable. Of course, we would like to get the extra cards every time, but yeah, all things being equal, we're at 7 points. They can only see we're at 6, but we're at 7 points. The other players are at 4, and our production is much stronger at this stage. I guess the one concern from our perspective, or the one sort of threat, kind of looking at it right now, trying to be as objective as possible, is that blue is able to build over to this wool port, and then city up here, and then he's kind of gonna run pretty quickly to the finish line. So kind of sprint to the finish line, if that makes sense. So we'll see what cards we get. We'll see how things unfold. But obviously the cheapest point for us at this stage is going to be road and settlement over to here. I mean, I think going for a development card also makes a lot of sense. I may as well try. Is there, I mean, I don't know that there's a trade that exists for wool, but somebody might be up for it. I don't really see a benefit to trading anything else, so we're gonna do that, and just again try to put up our defenses here with a knight. So we don't have any cards, so red can't rob us, which is great. He cannot hit us, but we'll see if he notices it. He's definitely going to block us. Oh, he does go for wow. So he opened up all of our spots. So that's nice. So at least for a couple of rolls here, we're going to have all of our production hexes available. We also have a knight in our hand, which is great. Just in terms of, like I said, having that defensive play. If somebody blocks us, we can get rid of that robber. Yeah, 4s and 8s are really good for us, no doubt. That's pretty strong. Again, you know, rolling an 8, we get the 2 lumber, that means we get the road, and we're going to be able to settle because the 3 wheat, we can convert that to the wool. So, I mean, the 8s are incredible for us. One more random thing to consider here is the notion that, okay, yeah, so he's going to definitely block and rob us. Maybe on the 8 wheat down here. Probably the most sensible spot for him to go to. Oh, the 3 ore. Yeah, I mean, he's robbing us anyway, but that's interesting. So, yeah, we have the knight, and that's kind of what I was referring to. So we can just go straight up here. Yeah, we're definitely robbing the blue player. I mean, he's the main threat. So that's pretty nice. We can take another development card here. I'm just wondering if that is the most sensible thing to do. This trade might exist. Blue might really want the clay. So I would like to keep the clay if I can. Yeah, so blue does go for it, which is great. Like I said, he really needs the clay to be able to get onto the port. That's like his only hope. But we're going to take a development card. And that gives us, again, just the more defensive kind of possibilities. He's going to rob us, that's fine. Yeah, so one of our clay is gone. But again, that's okay. I'm sort of expecting to get hit by everyone from now until the end of this game. At least until further notice. I mean, it's possible that with all of the blocking, we're gonna fall behind, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And then if we fall behind and say blue goes ahead, maybe they're gonna start targeting him. But again, one more thing to consider here is the road building opportunity. So that would be 2 points as well. But I think our main focus is going to have to be to try and dominate the army situation. So the 6 just rolled. That's some wheat for the blue player. Like, the one resource that I would rather not get from robbing someone is wheat at the moment, to be fair. But in saying that, I do feel like the blue player is kind of our main threat, specifically because of the ore wheat sheep production, and if he's able to get onto that spot, it's going to be a sprint to the finish for them. So yeah, consistently blocking the 10 is going to be the way to go here, I think. Those 8s are really, really strong for us. Really, really nice to get them. Yeah, so he's probably vying for... Oh, so he wants the wool. Interesting. Yeah, so we're obviously going to block the blue player here. There are no other options. So we're not going to be able to get another development card at this stage. So we're just going to put that infrastructure down and see what cards we get here. Yeah, so 4s and 8s. You know, 4s and 8s for the win. If we're going to roll 4s and 8s, we're definitely setting ourselves up for the win here. But yeah, we have you know, more than enough resources right now to be able to settle. depending on what else might roll. Getting another development card could be interesting. Again, that road building scenario. So if we can settle and take the longest road, we win as well. Ah, that is so painful. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that, but we're gonna get robbed, of course. So just wondering where we're gonna get hit here. Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate because we were really close to the win there. I think we may have even had the win in our hand because one road and the settlement is the win. So it's a bit unfortunate, but again, we're still way ahead here. We're way ahead of the pack. So yeah, I'm not sure what just happened with orange. They may have gone offline. They may have capitulated. Not entirely sure, but yeah, they have 13 cards in their hand, so... oh, okay. What? Yeah, red has gone offline as well. That's a bit strange. Wow, I'm very confused. Okay, so orange is putting the robber down. Red is back as well. Must have been a bit of a, disconnect there, which happens, so... yeah, so that's at least we lost one wheat and we didn't lose the lumber or the clay, so we have 3 of the resources that we need. And now, does orange have? I mean, he might. Oh, so he traded with red. Yeah, getting the settlement down would be great. And then we have like 2 pathways to victory. One is getting the army, and then the other one would be getting the longest road. So I'm feeling fairly confident that we're going to be able to get this one. Put this one in the win column. One would hope, anyway. So he has 7 cards. Like I said, if he's able to get on the wool port, that would be a bit unfortunate. Yeah, there's nothing we can do here. That's a bit sad, but another round goes by. Hopefully this round, so nobody has development cards, and the positive thing about that means that nobody's going to be able to push the knight around without rolling a 7. So hopefully we're able to produce some cards. Our production is fairly decent. I mean, we have the 4, 5, 8, the 3, 4, 8 up on the top here. 11 gives us some cards as well. Yeah, so hopefully we get enough cards to do the 2 things that we want, which is A, building a settlement, getting to 8 points, and then yeah, you want to play a little faster. Well, yeah. If we roll an 8, the 8 would give us the win, actually, now that I look at it. So that would give us the one road. Unless orange here takes longest road, which nobody has yet. And that's one of the tricky things about like us being kind of so far ahead that people aren't really thinking about road yet. Like orange is kind of wanting to develop more so than kind of take longest road. It's not really in his, you kind of have that tunnel vision thing. Okay, so maybe he is, ooh, okay. So that at least gives us the settlement. Blue is on the wool port, but might be game over. Yes. So yeah, build a settlement and GG. Yeah, so that's a pretty crushing victory there. Really nice one for us. So I might upload this to YouTube, and if I do, thanks for watching. Please do subscribe and like, and if you want to catch us doing a live stream, join us on twitch.tv, TryNiceGames. And yeah, don't be shy, connect with us on Twitter and Instagram. I'm hoping to be able to get to play with subscribers and followers and other people online in the near future. So yeah, connect with us and we'll try to set that up.